Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I have been waiting to get my hands on one of these for months. This is the Sinn 903 and it was released back in May of this year. Alongside was a blue dial and the very gorgeous looking limited edition model. This one here is the ST version. Now there's going to be people out there who are going to say, no, that's a blatant copy of a Navitimer from Breitling. And to be fair, yes, they do look the same, because the simple fact is, back in 1979, when Breitling was going bust, Sinn brought the rights to use the Navitimer, along with some parts actually. And so they have the full rights to do this design, and they have been doing ever since. And this, I would say it's more a better, it looks more like a Navitimer than the actual Breitlings do, because the Breitlings have lost their way. There is one which we'll talk about in a minute, but before I get too far into this review, I've got to say a massive thank you to the team over at First Class Watches. They have been absolute stars to me. Help the channel out no end. So please, if you're in the Midlands area, pop into their shop. If you're a bit further afield, well, don't worry, I'll leave a link in the description to their website and at the bottom of the page. Now, all I ask is if you do contact them, please mention the channel, as it really would help. So before we get too far into this, let me just say, yeah, Breitling do obviously make a Navitimer, and they now make one the same size as this. But that retails for about £7,500 on a leather strap. This retails, I think the RIP in the UK is £3,400. I think €3,200 if you're across in Europe. And to be fair, this has got more details which I prefer on this than the actual Breitling. But anyway, I'm waffling, so let's talk first about sizes. We are talking a 41mm case size. The thickness of the watch is working out at 14.7mm. The lug to lug, longest point across the watch, is coming in at 48.5, and the bracelet size are 22mm. But the dial. Now, if I'm to be honest, I've never been a massive fan of this kind of design, but I say that because after having this in my hands, my god, the details are just stunning. I think this is one heck of a good watch. The dial itself, we have this electroplated dial, so you get a really nice kind of clean look to this black detail in here. It is such a clean, it's more like a satin dial, but it looks absolutely flawless. We have these 3 subdials for constant running second hand. So what I mean by that is that's for seconds for your time here. All have sunburst arrangements going round there, and they have like a scalloped inset at the edge, like a mini chapter ring going round them. This is the minutes for your chrono. Let's actually have a listen to the chrono. Oh, that's sweet. I'm going to do it again. That is so fine, but that is due to the movement, which we'll talk about in a minute. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So that will be the minutes for your chronograph, and this will be the hours for your chronographs. That means this watch is capable of reading recording up to 12 hours. And where else do we start? Look here, we have an applied Sinn motif going on there, and it looks lovely. It looks like it's black polished. It catches the light beautifully. But I think the star of the show here are these lume blocks. They are absolutely terrific, and do they glow? They really do glow well. The lume on this is very impressive. They say they're made of like a hybrid ceramic, and every so often you catch it in a certain light and it's just, they pop off the dial. They just look really impressive. Now, down here at the 4:30 position, we do have the date window. Now, obviously, all this here, this is all to do with your slide rule, so you can do multiplication and lots of other things here. I would love to demonstrate this, but I'm going to chicken out and say it will take me far too long to go through everything on there. And the simple fact is I'm not very good at using them. So, but anyway, so that's how you move it with this. But let's talk about the crystal first. The crystal is a sapphire crystal. We have a beautiful dome on there. It looks really, really quite nice how they've done it. I believe there's AR coating on there. There's a slight blue tint. Now, the bezel itself, now it's just a friction fit bezel, and it is very well dampered. It feels really quite, it's just, there's no play on it at all. You know, you just turn it and it just feels lovely. It feels like it's really kind of locked in place, but it's not too easy to move, but it is just about what I would consider right. Now, as we come past this, obviously we can grip that. We've got this nice machine marks going on here. Now, the side of a watch, I think, is quite nice. You have this satinized finish here. You have these nice, elegant chamfers going on. And what's a real nice little touch, which I didn't have to do, but it does look good, is here. You've got this nice little shine, you know, high polish to this section here. And it just breaks up this, because I think if you weren't to have that there, you would read from there to there all as one piece. And it would look thicker because of that. But because I put this polish section in there, you only read from there, and then you read the back from that point. Now, as we come round, I like the way they've sculpted these in. There's a negative going on there, and it makes it look, it gives it a bit more of an elegant feel. And as we come round to the side here, we have a signed Sinn crown there, and we've got these two, almost, dare I say it, delicate looking pushers. It is quite, they do stick out some way, but they just kind of work. Let's have a reset on there. So if I press the chronograph, it's such a beautiful click. I know that sounds really silly, but it does feel great. Reset. Definitely more firmer press on the reset than there is actually on the click there on the start. Now the crown itself, boom. We have an audible pop. There is plenty of thread on there. Now, this is one of the advantages versus the Breitling variant. The Breitling variant only has 30 meters of water resistance. So what that means is, don't get it wet, basically. It's okay for washing your hands, but ideally you do not want to get that thing wet. Now, this has 200 meters of water resistance, which is just perfect. That is really good. It's also quite surprising with a slide rule how they must work out the seals, because obviously you're rotating the inner section of the dial. So I wonder how they actually do that. It would be interesting to know. Now, as we flick round to the back here, let's give that a little spin. And there you go. That movement is really nicely decorated by thermal blued screws. And the big thing is it does have a column wheel back there. And that is just a little kind of, a little bonus. They don't have to do that. Most chronos don't have that. It just means the pressing of the pusher should be a more kind of, every time, instead of being cams operating on levers, it should feel a more constant thing. It's basically watchmakers showing off doing that. Now, the actual movement itself, I did put this on the time grapher, and it was pulling plus, I think it was plus 1 second, which is a true testament to Sinn's regulating. They do always a tremendous job of regulating their watches. The movement is the LJP L110. Flows off the tongue, that one really does. It's a 26 joule movement and has 60 hours of power. So it's a proper solid movement. It's based on the 7750, which is a tried and trusted movement. Absolutely solid. Now, this one comes on the beautiful fine link bracelet, and I think it suits this watch absolutely no end. It's such a good piece. Now, fold over the link there. Boom. And it's got those nice hex keys in there, which you do get in the box, and you also get the Loctite to make sure they're screwed down. You do have half links there, which enables you to get the correct sizes. Let me put this on my wrist so you got an idea how it looks. A quick wrist check. I'm wearing Seiko's old school SKX 007, and Bob has got an absolutely, he's going to focus there, absolutely gorgeous Larco. I've been after trying to get review that for some time now, but for some reason it just never seems to happen. My wrist size is 7¼ inches. That equates to, I think it's 18.5 centimeters. Let's just show you it, and there you go. Oh, guys, I must admit, it's like, I think it's almost like Sinn have really, I'm not going to, they have, it's almost like they've stepped up on their dials here, because that I think is such a gorgeous looking dial. I'm really truly impressed by it. And as I say, at the price they've got it at in the UK, 3,400, it's under half the price of the Breitling variant. And to me, this just seems like a better watch, you know. But anyway, I'll leave you to make up your mind on that one. But most importantly, you guys stay safe out there. And if you leave any comments, I'll try and get back to you. But it is getting harder because there's more and more comments. So all the best, guys. And most importantly, stay safe. See you at the next review. Take care. Bye.